Myself and Peter have worked together 20 years now. This is our third insurtech business. We do know how hard it is to start and scale a business. Insurance is just at the start of the journey of modernizing itself. I think it's there are loads of opportunities. When we started Kayna, I think this is the most exciting business we've been involved in, with the biggest opportunity to make an impact for small businesses and software platforms that we're working in. So we're incredibly excited we couldn't believe the opportunity was there when we started. Always takes time to build it up, but yeah. So if you take the small business insurance market in the US, it's about $110 billion. Small business insurance. The CEO of Hiscox reckons that about 15% plus in the next 5 years will be embedded. So that's a $17-18 billion opportunity in the US alone. Globally, it's probably double that. So this is a huge opportunity. The take-up rate has been very slow for software platforms for insurance. It's been huge for embedded fintech. Embedded insurance is 3, 4, 5 years behind of embedded fintech. So we've seen the growth rates. Sure. So effectively, it's where you buy insurance on a non-traditional insurance platform. So the old school way of looking at it is when you're on British Airways, you buy a flight and they offer you insurance. So we're doing that. It's much more complicated, much more sophisticated for small commercial insurance on software platforms, B2B software platforms, where you've got, whether it's vets or construction professionals or lawyers are running their business. They've got tons of data, big community. It's a new distribution model for small business insurers, and we're that layer between the large incumbent insurers, and we allow them compete against maybe the more tech forward MGAs, etc. So a lot of tech folks are there to disrupt the big brokers and carriers. We're there to enable them. We think that depth of knowledge in small commercial is needed. Well, I think it's scar tissue about being at this for 25 years. And definitely our strategy is a little different than a lot of people, being that enabling layer. And we're not an MGA, we never will be. We don't compete with our partners. So when you think about it, the software platforms, they want to work with very large insurance organizations that have been here for 100 years and will be here for another 100. But those companies tend to move slowly. So fast-moving software company finds it hard to integrate, spend a long period of time to integrate with them. With us, it's a few days' work and they can start selling insurance to their customer base. Our journey it's all been about putting the Lego blocks in place. So our last integration at the front end takes about 4 or 5 days. That's it at the front end. Very little engineering lift. At the back end, what's been interesting is getting all those products in place, getting the regulatory piece in place, how are you going to service the client. So that's taken a while. Now that that's in place, as we say, we have our products on our platform, or products in our warehouse, we're ready to go. So a couple of weeks is what it takes. The big piece of the puzzle is getting carriers bought into the concept of embedded insurance, which they are now. Brokers the same, like we've got a major global partnership with Willis Towers Watson. They're huge believers in what we're doing. As a very small company, getting the third biggest broker in the world to, the CEO came out in an earnings call and I'll repeat that. The CEO came out in an earnings call and mentioned us as a major strategic initiative last year. So that was pretty interesting to get that kind of coverage as a small company. So the Willis Towers Watson partnership we announced over a year ago. So they're third biggest broker on the planet. They're huge fans of embedded insurance and embedding into vertical SaaS platforms, and that's what we do. The CEO came out in an earnings call 10, 11 months ago, mentioning our strategic partnership. Very small company. That was a huge motivation for us, and thrilled to get such credence from such a respected CEO, and I think that's given us a lot of credibility in the marketplace. A lot of carriers now who Willis Towers Watson work are really interested in embedded. As I mentioned earlier, Hiscox see it as being a big percentage of their business going forward is going to be embedded, and lots of other carriers and brokers see this as well. And when you think about software platforms, embedded fintech, they're doing a huge business in embedded fintech. Like if you take Toast, for example, the big restaurant software platform makes 8 times as much money on processing payments than they do at selling software. AI is making software a bit cheaper. So what they have is they've got a community, they've got a customer base, and monetizing that is really important. So embedded fintech, whether it's banking, insurance, payments, is going to be critically important. Our job is to make it easy for the big incumbents to come and play in that marketplace. And this is not a small market opportunity. This is our objective is to enable $1 billion insurance sales in the next 3 to 4 years and generating about $30 to $40 million revenue for Kayna. Look, I think startup is all about resilience. It's all about getting knocked down and getting back up again. And there'll be, 99 people will tell you it can't be done, but that it's finding that one person who believes. And we were very lucky with Willis. Very early days, they thought this was exactly the kind of partnership that they needed. I'm very lucky. My co-founder Peter and myself have worked together for 20 years. Know exactly how we work together. We've been very, very lucky. So raising money is always interesting, but Aperture, one of our fantastic investors who had a ton of value over and above the cash that they put in. We're very lucky with the investors we have. We have a really strong software development team and building that team out, which is fantastic. So we've been very fortunate. Look, we've been around the block, plenty of grey hair. Patience, coupled with a bit of resilience in the insurance game is what you need, I think. So, yeah, I mean, we're really fortunate. We've got a really good, experienced investors on our cap table. I think that Aperture are very different, we found. Look, I suppose their background is they're huge believers in the platform economy, in embedded fintech. They write a lot about it. They're very hands-on in terms of marketing support. So we talk to them quite a lot. They're very, very networked in. So it's definitely, they talk about smart money, but it's kind of a glib saying, but it's actually true with Aperture. And thrilled to have them on the cap table. So look, we're very, it's interesting. The Irish ecosystem has changed a lot. 20 years ago, the job was to get a quick exit to a US acquirer. So there's some really ambitious entrepreneurs in Ireland, my vintage, who are selling businesses for $1 billion. There's no reason why this can't be a $1 billion business. I think it's all about cracking open brand new distribution opportunities. We've been fortunate and we've got partnership with some of the biggest insurance organizations on the planet. We now are getting platforms who are fascinating. We're learning and we're testing and we're learning more about this than anybody else has gone through, because this has been tough. Small business embedded commercial, a lot of people said this can't be done properly. So we're doing it right now. And so we're very confident that this could be $1 billion company in the next 5-10 years. Yeah, I think we do. And I think it's a lot of insight and knowledge. I mean, when we started first, we thought this was going to be just specifically high volume, low priced policies. We're doing some really, really interesting, nuanced embedded insurance. And they're actually, the reasons why people do embedded are completely unknown to people who haven't gone through what we've gone through. So it's really interesting. There's lots and lots of nuances around reasons why people want to do embedded. So I think that's fascinating. I think there's, and we're delighted when we see competitors. Really, like, there's a lot of tech-enabled MGAs doing a good job in this space. But our partners and our potential partners look at this and they don't like these people taking their market share. So they have two choices. They completely change their culture and their organization to be able to compete with these startups, or they partner with a company like Kayna. And there's nobody really who has the same model as us. So that's why, and the Willis Towers Watson is the perfect example, that they have said, we need to partner with a fast moving tech enabled company so we can compete in this embedded space, which is going to be worth tens of billions in the next couple of years.